Hello everyone, welcome, this is Icy Turbo, and today we are playing Arenas in Hearthstone, developed by Blizzard Entertainment. Now, we already have a previous video discussing all of the cards that we got today, and as you may or may not be able to tell, the mic is now beautiful. But first, into the game. Now, as I stated in my previous video, the entire deck that we have today is actually very focused on the early game, so hopefully, if we're very lucky, we might actually get some early game dominance with this deck and actually win an arena match, though it's very unlikely. Unfortunately, I didn't get many spells for this specific draft, mainly Power Word Shield and a couple of other very early spells that I really needed, including Shadow Word, Pain, and Death. Both of these spell cards actually allow me to get rid of creatures on the board, and they're considered one of the best controls in the game for a specific character. So sadly, I didn't get any of those. Hopefully, however, our early advantages will be good, and we probably lose this match. I'm sorry, that's very pessimistic. It's going to be very hard to win this match. The reason why is that priests are notoriously hard to fight against, and that's why. Okay, now as you can see, we have a relatively good starting hand with one silence, which should be very good in getting rid of something like a Northshire Cleric if we have the opportunity. Now, what we're going to do in this play is summon the Fairy Dragon. The reason why is, unlike any other card, he has to actually use creatures to get rid of it. And through most priest decks, at least for the cards specifically for priests, they have a very, very low attack, which means I can actually trade out for Fairy Dragon and hopefully get some good control on the field. So what we're going to do is instantly summon Fairy Dragon, and let's see how this works out for us. Now, in a priest-by-priest battle, you actually have to worry a lot more about when priest can summon Shadow Word, Pains, or Deaths, and if he can actually buff specific creatures. Oh, and that was the perfect play for him to do, except it didn't work. That was actually an interesting play. I'm surprised that it worked so well. So what we're going to do first is something I like to call attack him directly. And the second is using Mad Bomber. Now, I'm only going to use this because even if I still do a little bit of damage, I'll have a 3-2 on the field, and this isn't going to do anything for this turn. So let's do the Mad Bomber and see if we get very lucky in our RNG. Nope! But that's the risk that we have. It's why I did attack him directly. I'll have to... yeah, of course. And we'll just end the turn. He'll probably trade for this. If he doesn't, I at least have a little bit of things that maybe take care of it, including a Harvest Golem, which is a very good card against Mad Bombers. Or I can summon the Acolyte of Pain. Hopefully he attacks that. I at least get one card out of it. And it looks like he's going to attack me directly. Either that or he's just going to attack my creature. Nope, he's going to attack me directly. So what I'm going to do is do a very simple process of quickly attacking him, getting rid of it, and getting the Northshire Cleric and the Lightwell out. The reason why is that these two cards synergize extremely well with each other, and I want to make sure that I can get some heals out. This is also a threat because he can't heal his own minions unless he wants me to draw a card, and I'll slowly get card advantage. However, he's done a very, very good job of this game, doing all he can to actually do great against me. Now this is the perfect opportunity for a silence. A silence will give us the advantage that we need, so we're going to silence this creature right now. Now he has 0 attack and 5 health, which does nothing for us, which is amazing. So what we're going to do is summon the Acolyte of Pain, and we're going to get our Northshire Cleric out. And we are going to just attack him directly. Even if he has a Spirit Fire, that means he has to waste a spell on a Light Spawn. And even if it's a 5-5 again, he still would have to probably take out this well rather than one of these. But we'll just see how it works. Hopefully we now have a little bit of board advantage with our 1-3s, and if any of our creatures take slight amounts of damage, we can heal them up and get some good card draw out of it. So let's see what we can do. Now, right now I have, unfortunately, something that I don't like, and that's the fact that I have no card dominance. What that means is that at this moment I don't have any cards that will actually benefit me at this point in terms of board control. I do have the Northshire Cleric, and I can actually make a play with it, but I'm not going to be able to get rid of this, and it's a taunt with 3-6, and it's going to kill any of these cards in one shot. So the main thing I'm going to do is try to get the card draw up, and hopefully it'll work out. Now he's at 4 health, and I just realized that I don't have enough mana to heal. Oh, that was a great card play. I'm going to throw this guy here because he's probably going to get rid of it anyway. And at least give a Power Word Shield to this card. Give him minion plus 2 health. I think this counts, but even then, we at least still want him on the board because he's the most powerful unit we have. There it is. Perfect. I'm just going to go with that. I don't know if that was really effective, but it's all I could do. And if he takes out a Northshire Cleric, he takes it out. It happens. We didn't do a very good job of getting the early advantage. He was able to summon a Fen Creeper, which I would have had to use a silence for as well. And he was able to summon a Light Spawn, which I needed to silence the immediate moment it was on the field, because a 5/5 was just too dangerous for me to use. Here's the Shadow Word Pain I was talking about, which gives him a distinct advantage, taking out my Fountain, which doesn't allow me to actually heal any of these creatures inherently anymore without using 2 mana. And that's pretty bad, because we really need that in order to actually do well against these creatures. Now, what I'm guessing is he's going to do is probably get rid of at least one of these characters right now. Probably going to go for the Northshire Cleric directly to try to get it off the field as soon as possible. Or he's going to do that, which actually is a mistake on his part. The reason why it's a mistake is that if he took out this card, he'd actually be able to do some significant damage to me. Now that he wasn't able to use the card, I can now get card draw from this and still summon another creature to do some work. So we're going to heal this character, and now we have double card draw, which is exactly what we need in terms of characters. Now we also have the Emperor Kobar that we could summon. This is a 2/3, and it will kill either of these creatures that he attacks. But I think what we're going to do instead is probably the Harvest Golem, so it makes him have to waste more time on my monsters. And we're going to run into this guy one more time because I know he can survive it. So we now have a 3/3 once again. He may heal it up to a 3/5, but at least we have another creature on the board. And even if he takes the time to kill these, I took advantage of their heals and still got a good amount of cards out of it. So let's end our turn and see what happens from here. Now we just drew a Mind Control as well, so if he draws a very good card, we might be able to take advantage of it and take it as our own, especially if it's a taunt creature, which is what we need at this point. Now the other creatures I have is a Stranglethorn Tiger, which actually would be very good in the next turn to have, as it's a 5/5 and can take out this taunt and take out this. Hopefully, if I can use it to start fighting, I can actually get rid of some of these cards I need to get rid of. But he looks like he's thinking about attacking me directly, and he's also thinking about... I'm thinking what he's going to do with the Fen Creeper. Oh, there it is. That's why I always want to keep these on the field, because it's minions, and not just any minions. It's these specific minions. Now that he's attacked and wasted his heal, I can get rid of this Fen Creeper, hopefully. But the next thing I need to do is get rid of this Azure Drake. Now I have a Ventrico Mercenary I can pull, but first we're going to at the very least get rid of this card. This will give us 2/1 on the field, which is exactly what I want at this point. Now, as you can see, we have many cards, and all of them can do very well in this situation. However, I do want to get the Ventrico Mercenary out for the very specific purpose that it's just a good card to play at this point. However, what we can do, perhaps, is at least summon one other creature on the field for him to be distracted by, and then summon the Ventrico Mercenary, or we can wait and just see what happens at this point. Maybe even healing this Blade Master, because he can still kill it, and I can still get card draw. Even if he has a spell to kill it, he still has to use something to get rid of it. And I don't have many cards to get rid of this, so what I'm going to do is summon the Ventrico Mercenary, and actually heal this guy. I know it sounds weird, but being able to get card draw is exactly what we need, and that's exactly what I needed. Even if this card is removed, he now has to spend cards to remove it unless he uses these, and even then, he still has to distract in order to get rid of this. Let's see if he has a Shadow Word Death. No, he doesn't. Instead, he has Thought Steal, and I don't think he'll be able to actually get exactly what he needs, because I don't have any cards in this deck that are actually going to get rid of this the way he wants it. So that's actually not bad. And it looks like what he's going to do instead is attack me directly.
Do you need a blessing?
Also with a Young Priestess. Interesting. Oh, okay. It looks like what he's going to do now is rush the board, and we want to make sure to get rid of this board as soon as possible. So we have the Emperor Koba, we have Stranglethorn Tigers, we have many, many cards on the field at this point. What we're going to do is get rid of this as soon as possible, because we don't want this around. Because the spell damage is too much. What we're also going to do is actually heal all of our friendly characters with an 8 card, because we need it. Now sadly, there is one thing I forgot. I could have actually played this and been able to take damage then heal. So that was my one mistake, and I apologize for that.
Right away.
What we're going to do is take a little bit of damage to get rid of that young priestess, and it's probably well played. Like I said, we probably lost this match, but we're going to at least get rid of this. So let's see what he has in his hand. Also, I apologize for that. A little bit of congestion. Now we have a very high board control, but if we're not allowed to summon the Lord of the Arena, we may have lost this match in the simple principle that he might have a spell that deal damage to me. But it doesn't look like it so far. It looks like all he can do right now is deal some damage to me personally, followed by healing himself. With the amount of cards I have, I want to see if he's going to get rid of this, instead of attacking me directly. And he has a light spawn again. So it looks like his entire motif is to try to get all these powerful monsters at once. What we're going to do is actually something interesting. First off, we're going to cancel this out. Let's get rid of it because she can take the damage. The next thing we're going to do is get rid of this. It's a 5/5 and we don't need it on the board anymore. That way it gets rid of it and we can start summoning creatures on the board. Finally, we're going to get rid of this master. We don't want it on the board and it's very, very big. And finally, we're going to get the Emperor Cobra, because he'll be able to take a damage from this if he attacks me directly with it. Now we're starting to get the hand advantage that we need, and next turn I can use Mind Control if he summons anything big. So we'll end the turn here, and I think we've just gotten a distinct advantage against our opponent. Unfortunately, we don't have many spells, so we haven't been able to use Mana Addict in the way that we wanted to. However, this is exactly what I was looking for, a big card that he had to use in order to get something out of me. So what we're going to do is actually take control of the Stormwind champion and get rid of these bigger cards. So what we're going to do is Mind Control and get that Stormwind champion for ourselves, give our characters some much needed steroids. So with that being said, the first thing we're going to do is instantly attack this, get it off the board, because even if it has any value, we want to get rid of it and get rid of this. Then we're going to Circle of Healing to fill up whatever characters we have to full health. End the turn, and now we have board control. Even if he summons a Holy Nova, it won't do enough damage to get rid of this. If he has a Mind Control, he may have to just get rid of the Stormwind champion, which he doesn't, as it sees right here. Now we can start summoning some Lord of the Arenas. Apologize for anyone who knows what that reference is. And so the next job we're going to do is actually get the Fen Creeper with a little bit more health in there. I'm going to start swarming the board with Cobras. And what we're actually going to do is, instead of wasting it on our big characters, we're actually going to kill that right away, start dealing damage, and we're actually going to get rid of this. Even if he has one card that can actually take out my deck, he doesn't have it right now. And I know for a fact that priests don't have a spell that can deal 8 damage to a priest at once. This is the point where I can start spamming the heal button as soon as possible, trying to heal my character up so that he can continuously attack at this point. We have the massive advantage on the board, and he may have lost the entire game as he only has 2 cards left. However, he does look like he still thinks he's in the game, and unless he's summoning something good, he might not be. It depends on what is in his deck. If he top deck a legendary that could take out a taunt, he'd have some hope of being able to get rid of it. And it looks like we does it. So, guys, we just won our very first arena match as a priest. Congratulations for ourselves. I know it was very tough for us, and it looked like I was getting on the low side, but this is what happens when you hold on to the early cards and do smart plays. The only thing I could say that I could have done better, perhaps actually attacking with the Northshire Cleric before healing everyone to get the extra card draw. It's those little things that may seem small but really help to make you win the game. And luckily for me, I actually had the ability to swarm the board with better units as I was able to take out his units using unorthodox means. So tune in next time, guys. We're going to be playing the second game very, very shortly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching.